Well, obviously it's my first full season with the team, so for me it's a great honor to be part of this big project that Renault Sport has prepared for me for 2018. Now we've recharged the batteries up to 100 and I'm really looking forward to start the full season with them. I think doing those last 4 races last year was a great opportunity for me to get up to grips with the whole car, with the whole team, both in a personal way and also in a professional way. You know, to know everyone here in Enston now makes me feel a lot more comfortable going into the testing in Barcelona and into the first race in Australia. I got a lot of input on this year's car and pretty much everything that I've asked for about fine-tuning detail from the steering wheel, setup directions. This year's car will have all those ideas from me, so I think it's going to be very useful. The RS18, well, I've been looking at it for several months now. Every time I was visiting Enston, I was going always to the wind tunnel, sneaking in to see how the development was going, and I must say it's a great car. I think it has a lot of detail already, even if it's the launch car and it's the first test. The car already looks massively developed. I think the team has a very strong base to have a good car this year, and hopefully I can put the rest. Yeah, the dynamic with Nico has been great since the moment I met him back in Austin last year. I think we've got on very well together, you know, since then, and we have built a strong relationship. I think we can also be a very strong pair of drivers that we can help the team to go forward and to take that next step that we all want.
Yeah, looking forward to get started. It's definitely been a long winter, a lot of off time, so very keen and eager to get back to the track. I think we want to, as a team, you know, build up on the work that we've done last year and take the next steps, you know, more closer towards the front of the grid and compete for bigger and better results. I think the team has put in a lot of hard work over the winter. From what I've seen, there's, you know, a lot of things happened, especially in the details. So yeah, very excited to get out there and feel the new car. The RS18 looks very aggressive, very mean. I like the design of it, a bit more black, but a lot of yellow at the front, and especially if you see the car, you know, head-on from the front, it looks very dynamic, looks quick. So I think the design team has done a pretty good job on that. Starting the second season it's not, you know, obviously it's the second season, you know the people much better, you're much more inside the team compared to 12 months ago, but honestly even last year, you know, I felt, you know, integrated in the team very quickly, very well, so I don't think that's going to be a big deal. Yeah, a lot of change here, a lot of development as well in, you know, people, staff that work here. We've, you know, recruited a lot of people. The factory also has changed a lot. You know, we've extended the factory, modernized the factory in all the different departments and areas. Yeah, it looks very encouraging and positive. You know, how the team is growing, how the team is building itself bigger and better. So I think it's all heading into the right direction. Yeah, me and Carlos, we are a very dynamic couple, you could say. I think we work well together, pushing each other hard and therefore pushing the team forwards. The 4 races we did together last year worked out pretty well. So yeah, look forward to do the season with him together.
As the team is starting its first season in 2018, I really see a team that is in line with its plan. It's a long-term plan that we developed in 2015, a 6-year plan, 3 years of reconstruction, 3 years of challenging the top team. 2018 will be the last year of that reconstruction phase. And even though there is still so much to be done, I can only see positive coming from both Enston and Very. 2017 has clearly been a year of turnaround of the team. I mean, any way that you look into that, whether you look at the Constructor Championship position, or if you look at the average starting position or finishing position, but also the deficit to the top team, it's been a clearly improvement visible from everyone in the course of 2017. So that's clearly what we want to see in 2018. We want to see that this progression is not stopping. Clearly, we will be fighting against different type of teams, but they are equally important as the fight that we had before. In 2018, we will continue with Nico Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz. It's a very competent lineup, very quick drivers with lots of experience, fantastic charisma, lots of energy, lots of drive. They will be driving the charge both on track and off track. And clearly, I can see something really exciting. In my opinion, it's the best lineup that Enstone team has ever had all together. And they will be also supported by Jack Aitken, who will be joining us as a reserve driver, who, in addition to his duties in Formula 2, where he will be fighting for championship, will be taking part to a number of Formula 1 duties during the weekend and off weekend. So for 2018, we have been glad to announce renewal and extension of a number of strategic partnerships like BP Castrol, Mapfre, Microsoft, Infinity. But that's not just it. We've been joined also by a number of new partners like Le Cosque Sportif and Tmall and many other brands that we will be announcing in the near future. I think that's what all those partners have the capacity to see is a project that is at the same time offering credibility from a sporting perspective and value from a marketing and a business perspective. And all of that is coming and put to the credit of the fantastic effort that is put at the team level, but also the great connection that we have with the Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi Alliance, which altogether is the largest automotive group company, and that is offering a unique selling proposition to all these brands who are looking for exposure worldwide and business opportunities. Deciding to supply Red Bull Racing and McLaren in addition to our works team was clearly a bit of a brave decision that we made last year. Clearly, I'm sure that at some point it will be creating headache for our team, but I think it's only positive on the medium to long-term future. We know that we still have a bridge and a deficit to overcome on the engine side, and I'm really sure that by working with the best, we have the capacity to accelerate and fast track what needs to be done on the engine side. And at the same time, we know that we are still in a learning curve and a progression curve on the chassis side, and benchmarking those organizations is a fantastic opportunity also given to Enstone. The return of the French Grand Prix in 2018 is a great opportunity that is coming at the perfect time. Frankly, earlier than that, I don't think that we would have been ready to honor what is expected from us at our home race. And I believe that in addition to being ready now as a team to offer something credible to the fan, it's also a fantastic opportunity to strengthen the fan base of both Formula 1 and Renault Sport Formula 1 team in our home market. And Renault is a global car maker, but obviously our French heritage is strong and we need to work on that. And that will offer a fantastic opportunity for the fan to get closer from the team in action, closer from Formula 1, and closer also from Renault brand and product, which are knowing a big turnaround. For 2018, it's very much about showing that we can continue on the process initiated in 2017. We want to show that this progression is not stopping. We want to show that there is more to come. We want to show that our plan is credible and that the team deserves respect. And all of that, we want to show that on track and off track by obviously gaining from the top team, by scoring more points, by progressing to the championship, but also continuing to develop the brand and the profile of the team.
I'd describe the RS18 as an evolution of the RS17. We learned a lot of lessons through 2017 as we developed the aero package under very different rules. And also we've been building up the infrastructure a lot at Enstone so we can throw more into the RS18 package. But yeah, it's an evolution with a lot of good lessons learnt from last year. The changes from the RS17, well, firstly, in terms of regulations, we now have a halo to fit to the car to protect the driver, and we've got a change to the engine cover fin on the car. There's a lot of other minor regulation changes, but those are the big ones. The halo has changed the whole way we design the chassis, so the structure's quite different. There's very big loads can be put into the chassis from the halo, and we've designed that the chassis to cope with it. The engine cover fin has changed a little bit of our aero program. We've adapted to that change, and then the other changes really are all about getting more out of the package from the lessons we learnt in 2017. Well, the key lessons learnt from 2017 really are about how we can get the most out of the package for the drivers. So trying to make a car that's slightly easier to drive, that they can drive on the limit more easily. So the big changes really have been around how do we make the car ride bumps better so it's more comfortable and easier to put on the edge. And aerodynamically, how do we get a car that can operate at at more sort of extreme angles and still be predictable for the driver. So we've put a lot of effort into those, as well as a more general sort of performance improvement program with the car. The targets for 2018 are to move on from where we finished 2017. So we ended up in a reasonably competitive position. We want to take that on further and improve our performance through 2018, and we want to have a reliable car. And one of the problems we had in 2017 was we didn't finish enough races. We want to make sure we finish all the races and give Carlos and Nico a really reliable and performing platform that they can then go and race and get the best out of.
'18 is going to be all about reliability. If you look at the 3 engines we're going to have to run this year compared to last year, where we had 4, and actually even less on the energy store because it's going to be only 2. So definitively we've put a lot of emphasis on reliability, but it's also fair to say that we have looked at performance too, because last year we would deliver on performance, which we need to keep on working this year. And obviously we missed drivability, which put a point on delivering this year. So definitively we will be reliable, and we have a key program on developing the performance at the same time. Key target is I mean, our way the same. We need to get engines to the end of any race, and we need to be performing in quali. So basically it's performance and reliability again. But the main focus we had was to keep concentrated on what we developed through last year in 17. We knew that we had let's say a new concept that we have to develop, which we did in 17. We missed a bit of time, so we carry on into 18. Which definitely was a project, the 18 project, that we started on last summer, and we can say now we are up to deliver for the first race, and we're ready to go racing. Lesson learned in 17 actually is not a lot. I would say it's nothing we did not know before. So I would not say learn, maybe relearned, as we already gone through some season like we missed a bit of reliability, and last year was more a matter of having the cursor at the right place when we were looking at performance and reliability. I guess we started off with a good reliability record on tracks, and we moved up on performance, and we lost a bit of reliability, which was difficult to gain back in the second part of the season. So definitively we learned that this sport, Formula One, is still a very difficult one, and we knew also that 17 was the start of a new let's say era for us, where we put everything that we needed to be back on top. So definitively 17 was used as it was planned, obviously not with that reliability problems we had, but 18 will show off that we've done the job, and we can keep on working on performance.
For 2018, we have to keep fighting on our journey to improve our situation. Basically, we have a very clear objective in terms of improvement, in the performance, by once again dividing the gap between us and the top 10. And the second is really, we have to fight on performance, we have to fight on reliability. We saw that in 2017, the reliability of our engine was a little bit our weakness. We will have to concentrate on this reliability issue. We are very confident in the way we can deliver better results in 2018 because we have a strong driver team. We have improved significantly the performance of the engine, and we have now all the roadblocks in order to be better, and there is more to come in the following years. At the time Renault decided to re-enter as a team in 2015, we set a clear roadmap over the next 5 years to become a strong contender for the championship. For the first 2 years, we had very clear priorities. The first one was to rebuild the team and to reinvest massively in the facilities and the equipment. The second was to attract partners that could help us and support us during this journey. And the third one was obviously to start to deliver. I would say that after 2 years, we have met our objectives, especially in terms of performance, because we were 9th on the first season, we were 6th on the second season, and we have divided by half the gap that we had with the top team. This is a very good result. For us, it's very much important because French market is really the first market for Renault brand in terms of sales. So having a French Grand Prix in France could obviously attract much more audience, much more support, and much more fans to share with us our passion in this competition. When the decision was taken by Renault to re-enter as a team in the Formula One, we had two objectives, main objectives. First is to support the development of the awareness of the brand worldwide. And the second is to push the image of Renault brand on its market. It's clear that the first result of our team in this competition has definitely supported this strategy, and we can see one indicator, which is among the others significant, is the return on the media investment. When you look at the return on media, it has already improved by 50% compared to the initial year. So the more media can cover our involvement and our development, the better it will be for the success of the brand. I think that since Renault returns as a team, the management of the Formula One has changed. The previous management was more focused on financials. This current management is really focused on the weakness of this competition, which was a lack of audience, a decreased audience, and the lack of attractiveness. So we are working very strongly and very positively with this new management in order to revamp the audience and to boost the attractiveness on a win-win basis.